Sup gamers, welcome back to some more regularly scheduled Legends of Runeterra content. Today we are playing some Malphite Taliyah, aka just rock solid, because this deck is a rock solid archetype in the current meta. Well, more or less rock solid in the current meta. The thing is, I was looking over the list that I've been running recently, and I have been awash with Noxus. If you look at my more recent deck guide gameplay uploads, you'll see that I have done, I believe, 4 out of the 7 videos have been for Noxus, and that's entirely because in this current meta, the reason why Noxus does so well is because of Samira. Samira is the definitive champion of Noxus right now, and if it's not Samira, then there's the Alawi Swain, and then there's also the Tristana Tima list with Noxus and Bandle City, and then Bandle City is the other one that's seen a lot. I'm basically trying to say that there are a lot of lists out there that are running 2 very specific regions that are top dog and decks that I would like to climb with, but at the same time, it feels a little bit boring for me. So I was looking around, I was trying to find the 2 regions that I have not played at all, and would you look at that, it is Shurima and Targon, and they come together in this list of Malphite Taliyah. Now the reason why this deck works and how it works is that you play landmarks, you get a bunch of units on board, hopefully out-trade the early game and mid-game with your opponent, and then drop Malphite at the end of the game, or Taliyah, or both, stun your opponent's entire board, and go for these massive, massive swings. Now, statistically speaking, this deck does not do well into other go-wide strategies, things that can go wide faster. Funny enough, this has a very negative win rate into that Aatrox Bilgewater list that runs Reaver's Row that has a bunch of 1-drops that try to then go wide and then finish the game off with Solani. This also doesn't do very well into Annie Jin, but what this does beat up on, and this is my favorite part, it beats up on Demacia. A lot of Demacia lists have struggles with, on turn 7, Malphite stunning an enemy, Malphite then using Unstoppable Force to then stun out their entire board, because 1, they usually don't have counter spells, and 2, they're usually reliant on their units hitting and blocking with big stats, and if you negate that entire possibility, that's where this deck runs you over. So obviously we're running a lot of landmarks. We're running landmark generators, ancient preparation, blue sentinel. We have hibernating rockbear as a 2-of main deck, 3 rock hoppers, dragon roost even, which is a card that nobody knows, but it summons Amviola's Fox, which is a 5/6 dragon that creates a dragon in hand after a ally with fury kills something, which is usually itself. Rockbear Shepherd creates a, so on and so forth. Basically, everything is trying to eventually build up to Taliyah and Malphite. Now, unfortunately, this deck did receive a little bit of a nerf in the removal of Absolver from Standard, but it still is a potent deck all the same. And for those reasons specifically, I'm just going to jam it on ladder and hopefully have a good time with it. Match number 1. What are we against? Hydrodynamics. Sure. Playing the Samira Jinx list. This is a list that likes to spam out a lot of spells early. I think I'm going to keep 2 Ancient Prep. We can go 1, 2, 3, baby. Oof, this is rough. But the fact that we don't have attack token on 2 feels pretty bad because we can't stymie their Samira churn if they have it. And considering that they didn't re-roll any of their hand, I'm a little bit nervous about that. I'm going to look for... Chip is pretty good. I think we want Chip, because Chip gives us early game power here. That is a little bit intimidating. We can pass. This does give them a good attack. Crimson Pigeon. I know some people don't like playing Crimson Pigeon. I'm a fan, personally. Not going to be developing anything right now, so we'll just let that resolve. And then I'm going to make their development more awkward by playing the Rockhopper here. Because if they want to play a Samira right now, they'll have to wait a turn. And I'm okay with that. Okay with ending the round now. We can swing back for 2 damage right now, but honestly, doesn't seem very worth it. I'm going to soft pass using a chip here. Soft pass meaning, like, I'm going to play a low-cost unit so as to kind of probe my opponent's hand, see if there's anything in there that they want to be playing, and they'll be taking on the... Wow, they had a... Oh, that's a great combo, actually, of cards there. Oh, I forgot that it goes that way. Huh. Okay, well, blue sentinel time, right? I could try to predict here. I think I do want to try and get better draws for next turn. Going to turn 4. Riot Negation, not necessary. Salt Spire kind of sucks. Rockhopper's not... I'm just going to pass. I'm going to pass that choice there. And then swing with 1, 2, maybe 3? This could be vulnerable to a Mystic Shot, so could this. I think this is the best move here. Force this block, force this block. Get my entire opponent's board traded down. And we're equal on development mana. Okay, so we did get the Mystic Shot. That's fine by me. It does make blocking less good for me next turn, because this becomes a 3-3, and that's a 4-2 if they swing with it next turn. But I still have a block here, block there. It just doesn't look like it right now. Desert Duel, not what I'm looking for, to be quite honest with you. Wow. This is a really great punish. Chip is just coming in massive here. Wow, that is like the maximum punish I could possibly have for that. And now both of these units can block into both of these units really freely. I can just go here and here, trade their entire board down, then I have Blue Sentinel or even Hibernating Rockbear for next turn. I think in interest of trying to push for more damage... Oh, and my leg's bleeding. Well, that's awkward. I do have... Okay, good. I think I, like, scratched at something I wasn't supposed to. Like, reach down and... Whoop! Right under the crook of that knee. That was an odd spot to just start hemorrhaging from. Anyway... I'm just going to attack. I'm not exactly the beatdown, but my opponent needs to be developing things first. We could just drop the Dragon Roost here. So I don't think there's any harm in doing so right now. Does kind of give me an interesting option. So this challenger is going to be pulling my Blue Sentinel out of the way next turn. I'm fairly certain of it. Just because they don't want Samira getting blocked by something that can potentially ruin their day here. Although getting Samira out on turn 5 is a lot later than I'm sure my opponent would like to. Grave Physician to discard, summons a Reborn Grenadier. We're going to play Rockhopper in exchange. And we're still taking a little bit of damage now, but with no Seraphine on board and with the lack of spells that they've played so far, I'm feeling pretty confident. Oh right, it was Jinx, whoops. I'm used to seeing Seraphine Jinx. I'm just gonna play Dragon Roost. Like, my hand is empty. I've got nothing. This is the best I can do for now, and I might as well get it out sooner rather than later. Now, I don't believe they have... Is there any zero-cost discards that I'm thinking of in these regions? Well, anyway, they're gonna have to burn this flare to pull the Blue Sentinel out of the way, and then I'm just gonna have to block whatever other units I feel like blocking. Or they pull the 3-1 now. That works too. But hey, it's still a block for me. Big open attack. I'm going to take 1 extra damage in interest of keeping a unit on board now. Taking 7 damage this turn's not great. My opponent being this close to leveling Samira also doesn't feel that good. We're going to keep the vulnerable one up because that'll be invaluable for me later. But this hand has not been doing me any favors. Not finding a champion early off of my predicts feels pretty bad. Because if I find a Taliyah, which is possible, you know, like I could potentially find a Taliyah. Nope, find my 3rd frickin' Rockhopper, dude. What on earth? This is really bad, actually. Flame Chompers is played to pull that out of the way. Understandable, right? And I have to actually pull to kill this. I can't swing with this. Right? Because if I swing with that, they rally this turn. I don't have a blocker for 6 damage. I have to go for this pull specifically. So that if they do end up rallying this turn, which could be doable, maybe. I'm not sure, actually. It's kind of an awkward game state to be in, and yeah, wow, my leg is bleeding. Okay, well, Got a piece of toilet paper there now. Just, just sitting there. Big units on board, so we're at least... Oh, and we have Stonebreaker. Delicious. So my opponent's board is getting smaller and smaller. I think... Let's see. They do have the mana with which to develop here, but I think Jinx is more of a threat than Samira is, funny enough. Because Samira, sure, can keep challenging and poking my face, but Jinx is one that if she levels this turn, can kill a good portion of my board between these two units, and also deal 3 to my face. Samira doesn't guarantee that right away, and I still have big enough units with which to kill her in combat. Now, does my opponent have a third Jinx? Maybe. That's how my luck sometimes goes, but I'm going to use the Flare first. The Flare does cost 0. Oh, I'm so glad. I am so glad that I killed Jinx there, because that was a very near thing. We would have actually lost on the spot there, because then getting the rocket to kill 2 units, right, off of the 1 AoE it does, plus the 3, plus the Challenger pull to pull this, and a potential rally later down the road. Vision is also damning. Not a great matchup for us. Discard aggro was always kind of bad for us in general. This pulls here. Everything else swings, because they want to get as much damage as physically possible. Interesting. Maybe they don't. They can still go for a 0 damage ping here, or a 0 mana ping off of Flare, because why not? But they might want to be saving it for a Challenger effect later on. My hand is like nothing, though. It is complete booty cheeks. I think I just have to swing with this, though. Let's see. This blocks here. And then they can't take a... well, they can take 10, actually. I have to swing with Blue Sentinel, right? Because Blue Sentinel threatens more damage. But then I can't block with it. And Samir is like 2 cards off of rallying now. I think Augmented Experimenter blocks the Stonebreaker. I don't think this is the right play at all for my opponent. Because now I just get to trade your whole board down. This is a bad block. You could have blocked this. What the heck? That was weird. Am I wrong in thinking that was a weird block for them? I mean, like, yeah, they're trying to think, oh, I can trade your board down now, but just take the free trade. I don't know, man. Very, very strange. Gotta play Wounded White Flame. Keep matching this board. See where things go. And I'm not expecting to keep Wounded White Flame on board either, but I really badly need a champion. Like, oh my stars, dude. Thankfully, we did draw a predict so we can look for one, but golly day, this board is just not it for me. It is not the bomb.com. And also, why is this not pulling anything? Am I... Huh. Maybe I'm crazy. Who knows? Anyway, these 2 units not going to be doing too much more than what they're doing right now. Might as well trade up. I don't believe this deck will run Might for Overwhelm. I don't know. Samira Jinx. I was thinking Seraphine, because I've seen Samira Seraphine before. Hey, there's a champion. Probably Malphite at this point. Malphite does make my board a lot scarier. We can end round. We can stun the Samira. I mean, we get an extra mana gem, but it does not matter. Okay. So that pulls the 5-2 out of the way, and then Samira swings, right? Is that how this is going to work? Challenger pulls the Wounded White Flame this turn. Why, again, not... I mean, no, they don't want to trade that down, of course not. No, that makes sense, right? So you're stunned, which means that I can do this. Bonk. Big damage, big man. And we get a Unstoppable Force next turn on the attack, which does have lethal for us, because it'll stun their whole board down. They pass, though. And I'm wondering if I just attack, depending on what I draw here. I draw Celestial Wonder. Okay. So I'll use Celestial Wonder first, right? Because this guarantees the stun outright, and it still presents lethal, but then it engages them into trying to block with more, right? Or I should have done it the other way around, actually. I should have played Unstoppable Force first. Oh, we're just better. Okay. Yeah, so holding that Unstoppable Force means that if my opponent tries to develop multiple units by, let's say that they had another discard card with another monkey, which, boom, baboon, I don't know how many they had. Anyway, top decking like an absolute beast, and that Celestial Wonder was perfect. Taliyah might have been a good one too, but I'm happy with that result. Okay, match number 2. We're into Aatrox Quinn Vayne. That might not look like Quinn, but I believe that was her Battle Academia skin? Star Guardian. Okay, well, I don't know. I'm not very good at telling these things apart. I kind of like this hand. It does give me, these 2 blue sentinels give me some blockers early, which will be nice. So we'll toss those 2. We have a predict available to try and look for a champion. We find Malphite early on, which is a good start to things. So let's go looking for Taliyah, Rockbear Shepherd. I think Taliyah is better to have in hand now. Like, once we have the combo pieces that we need to win the game, we can then win the game. That was kind of the problem that we had last game, where we could have won the game earlier, but we just didn't have the combo pieces for it. Blue Sentinel's a great counter here, by the way. So now my opponent can't really swing into a 2-3. It's pretty awkward for them. Like, well, heck. Ah, Catch is a good card, though. Do genuinely forget about that, but we prevent 4 damage and get the mana gem back anyway, so it's not something for me to be too torn up about. Go up to 4 mana this turn, meaning I can develop both the Grumpy Rock Bear and Blue Sentinel this turn. We'll play Blue Sentinel, number 2. Most likely a Vayne turn from our opponent, yeah. Demacia plays the exact same cards every single game. How do they do it? Now this does make my attack pretty awkward. Like, I could attack, but I have no mana, so they just get free blocks off with Steadfast Alkin and the Vayne. Not exactly ideal scenario. Is this a 1 mana? No, it's a 2 mana. I had 1, 2... Wait, what? So how much is this? Sure. Yeah, I want to put 2 damage on the Vayne. Oh. I think I can take 2, right? Because if I have another blocker available, it just gives them more opportunity with which to challenge. Like, I'm forcing them to keep challenging the unit, right? Golly day, I'm so annoyed by this. We'll let it resolve. I have Riot Negation, but I don't know if it's, like, too entirely worth it for me. But I'm glad that I didn't block there, because now I prevent more damage this way. We can pass. We gain an extra mana gem. I get to summon another Rock Bear with Taliyah next turn and actually level her, which is great. And opponent's down to 1 card in hand. It makes me wonder how they're going to handle this maneuver. So now I have Taliyah, right? Or they have 2 cards in hand, but one of them's the third one being the rally token that we see from a Vayne there. I say 2 cards based off of what we don't know, by the way. I mean, obviously I know that they have 3 I can count, but the Tumble is not exactly a card in hand because it's not something that really does anything. And this one I am going to use Riot Negation on, because absolutely go screw yourself. Like, go away. Go away. I don't want to deal with you. And I will attack. And I will get this. And I didn't lose a mana gem there, by the way, because our Crest of Insight counted down this round. So I hit for 4. Big damage to face. We prevent the level up on the Vayne as well. At least level up proc. But we are running into one specific issue. And that specific issue being Gwen. Oh, we did lose the mana gem. I thought we wouldn't have lost it because we had Crest of Insight, but I guess it was because the Crest of Insight was for this round? Yeah, you're running... You have double form up in hand, huh? you're telegraphing that you have form up in hand. I'm just gonna play Rockbear Shepherd, and like I just need it on board at this point. It's good for Malphite, but holy smokes, this board. Rockbear Shepherd dies to Petricite Broadwing, or even to Flea Feather Tracker, but that's just like more of a guaranteed piece of damage. They still have form up. It's something I gotta remember. They have form up available. So what I have to do in order to force that form up out of their hand, oh golly dang, and they still have, no, we gotta do this and this and kill the whole board, because they're gonna use the tumble again this turn to level the vein. Yeah, that's what they're doing. They just want to use this tumble this turn. And so we gotta like clear most of their board out as much as we can, and then block down off of this tumble, which is going onto the Fleet Feather Tracker again. Yeah, I understand now. I get it now. I understand what you're going for. Unfortunately, triple Malphite hand is like the worst thing that could have happened to us. If we had Desert Duel, if we had Quicksand, if we had I don't know, any of our responsive spells, even if we had the Inviolus Vox, this would have been a much better outcome for us. But as it stands, we do not. And we're also 1 mana short. Like, there's the Dragon Ruse, but it's like 15 years too late. Now, this attack forces blocks out of my opponent, right? Because taking them down to 1 HP, not a position they want to be at. If they're smart, they don't block this. Single combat, suck my nuts. That's fine. We hit for 5. Vayne gets a free attack, because, yeah, that's awesome. Great job. Great, cool champion. Anyway, we have triple Mal. Wait, they're not going to use the free... Oh. Well, that's something. They must have found... Do they find, like, a scout unit here? If they develop, they lose. That's the really funny thing. Because now I get to do this maneuver. You do not get to get those tumble attacks off with Styratu. Same. I mean, what? We used Rock Slide to stun the Styratu. We also have double Ground Slam now since we drew multiple Malphites. Form Up's in hand, isn't it? Form Up is in hand. Has to be. And if it's not in hand, it's getting drawn here. So I'm going to defer this option. Use my chump blocker. Just take my time with it. This is stunned, though, so it can't attack regularly. Which means that if they want to use this attack token, they'll have to use it with these two now. But they can't attack otherwise. Unlucky that this is 4 mana. If it was 3 mana, it would be a much easier call for me. Oh, Unstoppable Force. We have Desert Duel available now. I'm a big fan of that. I think I am going to just, like, outright Desert Duel you right now. So that my opponent doesn't get the same level of value out of this. And do this ahead of time. Get the Vayne off the board. I don't want to think about her ever again. And because Malphite is tough, well, we can block with Malphite into Ground Slam. I think that is the right call. Man. Ugh. And that's a rally token, isn't it? Gosh. I mean, I just have to use Unstoppable Force. I don't really have an option otherwise. Like, I really want to be able to appreciate Legends of Runeterra for all that it is, right? But I cannot stand playing against this godforsaken region. Like, it's so frustrating, man. Anyway, forcing a block, though, here feels pretty good. We can commit this, attack. Obviously blocks here. Whoa, blocks, I mean, not blocks there, excuse me. Sorry for doubting you otherwise, Sandpie. We get another blocker for next turn, which is nice. I mean, they're probably going to use Tumble on Styratu again. Which... Or Play Zolani? I have no idea where this tumble is going. I'm just going to keep passing. See where this tumble goes. And yeah. Like, yeah, you get the attack, which draws you 2 cards, which is pretty good for you. Counter argument, Malphite's Ground Slam. And I want to keep my board intact a little bit longer. Plus, you don't have any more rally tokens right now. Still playing around form up, although they haven't had it now. But they have drawn a lot of cards thanks to Styratu being on board. But with Inviolus Vox coming out, we might be okay. Oh, fuck off. Okay, whatever. We have a Malphite's Ground Slam here. And look at that. There's 2 more cards being drawn by Styratu. Okay. Well, that is very annoying. Because now it means that their open attack is really good. And you get that off of the Styratu reduced cost. If they have another one, I am actually lost, right? If they have another Petricite Broadwing... Oh, sorry, I thought I hit pass. We actually do lose. Wow. I mean, that's just about as bad. I have to hope that I top deck the Celestial Wonder or a Quicksand. Yeah, there's the Quicksand. And they have to full open swing here. That's 21 damage going to face. Nope, I actually just lose to this attack. Right? Oh, they have to full swing. You have to full send it. Yeah. Man! Oh! Come on, dude. Like, real fun deck, man. Oh, that's so interactive. I don't know. Did I, like, throw by not expecting them to pull a Cataclysm, I guess? Man. You can't win. You can't win against that. That's so frustrating, dude. Oh, why do you not like Demacia? I don't know, because they can pull that kind of stuff out of their ass. Okay, Sundisk. This might be a rough matchup because they have the counterspells that we do, and they have more time available to just wreck us, absolutely destroy us. I will look for my other things, like Chip, like Ancient Prep, early units, early cards, stuff like that, you know. Most Shurima Sundisk decks don't run a lot of early units. I like Taliyah here. Do I want to keep Taliyah or do I want Rockbear Shepherd? I think we'll go with Taliyah, because I'm worried about not being able to find a champion later in the game. Like, genuinely worried about that. We don't have any landmark destruction in this deck. I don't know, is there any in Shurima? Yeah, triple 1-drop's pretty great for me. However, we could fall behind pretty quickly now. Hit for 6 damage, though, is really nice, and then we get another unit on board. Potential for another thing. Is that... No, I don't know what that first character is. I was going to say, like, this is like a Europe something? Hold on, I have my phone. Where's my phone? There it is. Bamba. Poor Chip's gonna die. Everyone avert your eyes. Look away. Chip's death is imminent. Oh, never mind. It's not. Never mind. I was way overestimating the time of Chip's death, and I think we're just gonna swing for 5 here. Because Ruthless Predator probably blocks one of these. This gets pulled by Renekton next turn, and I resolve, hit for 5. Which they're developing Renekton right now. So I do have to worry about that. I am going to look up what this character's name is. Golly day. Couple of Renekton things. Oh, Glory's Call. Wow. Okay. Not a card that I'm used to seeing. That's pretty good. Yeah, that name makes no sense to me, but okay. It does not matter. Wow, that is quite the hand they have there. I could play Taliyah. I could play Rockbear Shepherd. I'm trying to think of like what's the best option here. I think Rockbear Shepherd's better because it does give me a potential stun here. I really don't want you doing that, to be quite honest with you. I'm just going to stun this to keep my board intact as much as possible. And then now you're the one that has to block me. How's that feel? What do you say to that? Glory's Call getting Emperor's Guard, though, is kind of nuts. Drawing a card off of that? Oh, boy. Oh, doggy. Taliyah doesn't have any space on board right now, funny enough, so we might just have to swing with Rockbear Shepherd for now. I could swing with everything, right? But that might not be entirely worth it. I could also swing with Chip, and then that, but then those blocks. I think it is swing with these two, actually. To give myself space on board. Summons. Yeah, this is right. Because obviously blocks here, right? Obviously blocks here. I hit for 2 damage now. So I trade their whole board down. Still have vulnerable on this, but the most important thing for me right now is that this actually gives me board space to work with. And we have Salt Spire. So countdown 2, which then summons and then buffs. This might be worth it. It could also be Taliyah. I'm trying to figure out which card I want to play first. It's Salt Spire. Because I summon this summons, and then pops that. Now this dies, for sure. But that is a pretty good outcome for me. Now if they develop something else before attacking here, I stun Nasus with Malphite here. We do this. Prevent the Nasus open attack. Unfortunately, Malphite is 1 off of being leveled here. Glory's Call being played again, 2nd time. For those of you who are curious what the Mandarin version of this name is, it could be Japanese. I can read kanji. They have the same meaning. But they're sometimes not like pronounced the same, and sometimes combinations of certain characters in Japanese don't mean the same thing that they do in Mandarin. So, oh wow, Riot Negation. That's a really bad Riot Negation, isn't it? Because now if I have a landmark, Malphite just doesn't go through anymore. I think it also was, the rank call was probably just playing Taliyah last turn. I think I block with Tough, for sure. Just prevent the damage anyway. It's for free. Anyway, the name is Yuanzhou, which I don't know what that means. Yuan means apparently means deep pool. Zhou is like a word for a prefecture of some kind. So there's that. And then Xing is like or like walking, or anyway, y'all don't care. Legends of Runeterra. I played a landmark, leveled up my Malphite. I have a freeze. I have an unstoppable force staring my opponent down. So we're gonna commit unstoppable force, right? They're gonna be able to block this. I really wish my game didn't freeze at times like this, though. Like I'd like to, stay connected, possibly. Oh gosh. Oh geez. Oh frick. Oh no, everything's frozen now. What happened? Am I not connected to the internet? What's happening to my internet connection? Oh no, my game's crashing. I'm getting the blue circle spinny of death. My mouse is gone, chat. Bring me back! Give me back! No! Why am I not connected? Oh my gosh. Why did my internet go out? This was like the key turn, and you go out on me like this? You suck. This is what I get for... Okay. Commit. Ooh, we're back. Oh, that was scary. We're fine. So it's now my opponent's turn. They could have a Riot Negation of their own, or another blocker capable of taking things down. They could even potentially have like a second Nasus in hand, right? Yeah, but you know what else? I have a riot negation to deny your riot negation. Joke's on you, atheist. I win, I think. Checkmate, right? Could be one more unit to block that, but yeah, we're just too wide. And there you have it. That's exactly what this deck likes to do. You just put a bunch of units down, you play a bunch of landmarks to get Malphite in for the last bit, and you win the game. I was complaining about linear play patterns earlier, but here we are, playing a linear play pattern. Hey, look, it's with landmarks, okay? Like, you can't say that rallying multiple times in a turn is equivalent to playing landmarks. Anyway. Okay, and that'll do it for this little deck guide commentary with 2 in 1. Very small sample size. I know, I'm sorry, the video was very short. I would like to make them longer in the future, but the thing is that I realized I didn't have a video recorded recently for Legends of Runeterra, and it is currently 1 a.m. at the time that I'm finishing this recording, because I just had the inspiration to do it when I didn't think anyone else cared. I don't know. That doesn't matter. But hope you guys enjoyed the commentary today. Had some decent results. Had a really close match against the Aatrox Quinn Vayne, but those multiple attacks from Styratu just absolutely crushing for me. So kind of an unfortunate result there. But otherwise, I feel pretty happy with how things went, and I hope you guys enjoyed, like I said earlier. Hopefully I'll be back a little bit sooner with some more deck guide commentaries, and if there's any specific deck that you'd like to see me play, and I will be taking, like, T3 into consideration. I'm not going to be taking meme decks, really. And would like to see me climb with, let me know in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and goodbye.